of these people who were receiving medication and they thought they were getting chemo drugs for cancer. They weren't. They were getting the sugar pill, but their hair fell out. Like, how does you physiologically have hair fall out when you're receiving a sugar pill, unless you have the belief that I am receiving chemotherapy pill, right? And that's the power of chemo, or power of the placebo effect, rather. And it's the mind going into this quantum field of infinite, unlimited possibilities and me selecting the outcome that I want. And in that outcome for those people, I'm taking a cancer drug. And when I have a cancer drug, my hair falls out and therefore my hair fell out. Like it was a choice that they made, right? Not good or bad. It's a neutral choice. It's just a choice that you made. Same thing for when you're identifying as someone who has chronic pain. Like we both have experienced severe chronic pain that was very real, very debilitating. I felt disabled a lot in my life from all of the diagnoses that I was seeking. Like I needed to know why, what was wrong with me. Then I identified as someone who had lupus. I identified as someone who had fibromyalgia and endometriosis and polycystic ovarian syndrome and anxiety, depression, and blah, 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 blah. And I was thrown all the medication. And I actually didn't feel that much better. And I identified with being someone who was chronically ill and sick. And then I kept getting more ill or sick and had hospitalizations and emergency room visits and all these different things. And when I went through my spiritual awakening and I found this like oneness and this understanding, my body did start to heal. And then I got my lupus test done because I was like, I was going through the spiritual awakening and anxiety attacks and my hands were turning white and all that whole story that I've told. And I was like, it has to be my lupus. My lupus is getting worse. My doctor's like, fine, we'll check you. But then I came back and my test was negative for lupus. I no longer had that. I'm like, this is an incurable disease. How do you no longer have
It's incurable. That's the thing. It's like we're all consciousness. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt. I just
it's crazy. Like we were told these things though, and then we subscribe to them.
Right.
And then when we believe them, like then that's when it manifests even further. Because then I identified fully with someone who was sick, and I was like, I was a really sad person too. And so in the grief and in the sadness and the unresolved trauma, my body was deteriorating. Like that was really what was happening. And then when I started confronting it and not being afraid of what I might find on the emotional, spiritual side and like leaning into that healing, then I started seeing my body was healing more and more and more. And then like I go through like I'm doing great. It's not been great. It's going great. It's not been great. And I think it comes down to the mindset. And so creators like you, when I do stumble upon your videos on the For You page and I'm like, oh crap, Rosemary's right. Okay, Amber, change your thought. Like I'm just so deeply grateful for you and your content because you remind me the power of my words, the power of my beliefs.